What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Keeping It Comic. Okay, deep breaths, everyone relax. Goofy and Dezzy, let me do a Doctor Doom story. So today, we're going to talk about one of the most stressful, mind-bending, and heartbreaking Marvel events there was. Time runs out. For real, this is not a story for the good guys. This is the chronicle of the death of the Marvel Universe. Or universes, or seventh cosmos. I don't really want to get into that. We're just going to go on this roller coaster through the major events and kind of side stuff that set the stage up for Secret Wars. Grab a snack, get a stress ball, and prepare to hear your favorite characters take a really big L. Alright, so the story does not ease you in. It's one of those stories where you start at the problem. You get thrown headfirst into the apocalypse a full 8 months after everything has gone wrong. The core of the problem is incursions. You may remember them from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, but if you don't, parallel Earths are basically being pulled together, and if they touch, all of them are destroyed. Whatever touches goes. By now, everyone in the public knows something's up. The sky does not look like the sky. There's a constant sense of dread, and the heroes are a complete and total mess, broken and at each other's throats because Captain America kinda told on them. First, you have the Avengers led by Sunspot, which is already insane, and he has an even crazier plan. Roberto DaCosta, Sunspot, former New Mutant, bought AIM. Bought him. Just, I'm a billionaire. I'm going to buy this billion-dollar evil company, and turned it into his personal Avengers-making machine. He's got some members of the team like Cannonball, Smasher, and Sentry, remember that name for later, and he's using this crazy dimension-hopping ship to find the source of the decay. It is a wonderful attempt to solve a problem with absolutely no understanding of what the problem is. Then you have a horrifyingly crazy plan by Namor leading the Cabal. Namor gave completely up on all the heroes, decided, you know what, I got a plan. Let's get Thanos, Corvus Glaive, Proxima Midnight, and Black Swan together, and let's have them destroy the other Earths. Because if there's no other Earth, it can't collide with ours. And somehow, that's the plan that Namor's like, this is clearly the only one that's going to do anything. Thanos at this point is like, all right, I guess I'm just going to kill the other Earth. No real problem. I would kill this one too, but I kind of like the universe I'm in. So the Cabal's plan, equally kind of crazy. And then you have the official Avengers team. This is a little bit less Avengers than you're used to. The version of Steve Rogers we have, he had all of his super soldier serum kind of sucked out of him, so he's an old guy. Black Widow is there, Invisible Woman and some of the Fantastic Four is there, but nobody's saving the world. Nobody's figuring anything out. They're just trying to find where the Illuminati went. And if you don't know who the Illuminati are, they're basically all of the superheroes put in charge of running the world. Again, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness kind of dealt with it, but they're considered public enemy number one because of their plans to destroy the other universe and keep everybody in line. Either way, irrelevant to this part of the story, the battle lines have been drawn and everybody has chosen a side. So right out of the gate, Steve Rogers' Avengers team scores a point for the horrible plans by capturing Beast, a former member, pseudo of the Illuminati. He kind of took over for whenever Professor X wasn't there. And it's such a chilling action. You could feel that the friendships are all gone when you're reading this. Nobody is cool with anybody. They're all just doing what they got to do. This soap opera is playing out. We get Sunspot's team hopping through dead universes, which look kind of like you'd expect a dead universe to. Not nothingness, but just everything kind of a little bit out, almost like a Rick and Morty episode where Schrodinger's cats are floating around. Like nothing's alive or in a half-life, just terrible. And they're just running through all these dead universes, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Like, how do we solve this problem? They run into a series of crazy, almost time-dilated universes, and then they just super quickly run right by one with a version of Doctor Doom in charge. Again, this is a destroyed universe, but they can kind of tell that Doom was a big player. There was, giant statues. So we're going to file that away and remember that later, but they're not doing well. And Doom himself, he's got a plan. Our Doom, 616 Doom. He's sitting in Latveria, watching everything everyone is doing, and he's just like, all right, I guess crack, I'll get involved. Cracks his knuckles, starts his own investigation, ends up tracking down a dude named Molecule Man, a guy named Owen Reese. Starts asking the real questions, not how do we stop this, because it's Doom. He'll figure out how to stop this if he wants to. Who started this? Like, how did this happen? And while everyone else is fighting, Victor is playing a very different game, and he is keeping his cards a little close to his chest, not allowing Molecule Man to really get far away from him. Doom's up to something, and he's going to crash a party if he has any opportunity to. Off of Doom, you're starting to think things aren't going to get much worse. It explodes. The entire galaxy is now aware of this problem. The Shi'ar Empire looks at a map of the multiverse, points their armada at Earth and go, hey, if we blow up that planet, much like the Cabal's plan of, hey, if we blow up another Earth, our universe will survive. The Shi'ar's like, let's just blow up that planet and our universe will survive, right? Everybody's kind of trying to solve the problem in the most utilitarian way they can. So there's now a giant alien death fleet on the way, and the heroes can find the body of the Living Tribunal. Because we've now entered Cosmic, everything's insane, and the Living Tribunal is dead. The Living Tribunal is the space judge of the universe, and he's dead. All this information ends up getting back to Dr. Doom, and he figures out, well, there's probably only one group of people, person, whatever, that could kill the Living Tribunal, at least that he's aware of, and that is the Beyonders. They're godlike beings from the 70s version of Secret Wars, and they are kind of treating the destruction of all reality like a science fair project. Can we do it? Some stuff changes in the future, but for right now, the Beyonders are just saying, hey, what if we end all of reality? What'll happen again? Now, we don't know this at this time, but reality has ended multiple times throughout history. It's called the Cosmos event. Again, can't really get into that right now. Just know that we're in like the 7th version of reality since the beginning of the Marvel Universe timeline. And the Beyonders showed up somewhere in the 2nd or 3rd as servants of the Celestials, as servants of etc., etc. There's a whole bunch. I'm not getting into it. So now it's getting darker. As we discussed, the Beyonders are this impossible, unbeatable, outside of reality, 4th dimensional monstrous of an opponent. And Doctor Strange, knowing this, says, okay, I have an idea. Hear me out. What if I stop them? And everyone's like, well, go ahead, Steven. Sounds like a good idea. So he goes and seeks out these magic space wizards called the Black Priests and sells a percentage of his soul for a percentage of the magic equivalent of the power cosmic. And they ask, well, buddy, what percent of your soul would you like to give to us? And Stephen Strange, not one to take chances. He goes, yes, 100. Can I give you more? So that becomes kind of this almost crazy god level being Stephen Strange in an attempt to stop the Beyonders, stop the Shi'ar from destroying Earth, stop the incursions, and he now has no humanity left. He sacrificed everything he has to give them just a chance of not having absolutely nothing. And now we enter the big stupid fight of the battle. It is the Illuminati, the Avengers, the remaining members of some X-Men laying around and some of Sunspot's Avengers team, AIM, and the Shi'ar Empire fleet shows up. So this is honestly like the end game final battle, except everyone was actually a threat. And this is a brutal fight. Black Panther hasn't been mentioned up to this point because he's just been another player. He pulls one of the coldest moves in comic history. He tricks Namor and the entire Cabal onto a different Earth that's about to explode. And then he's like, I gotta go. Bye. Just leaves them on a different exploding Earth. And after everything that, the Cabal has done, especially to Wakanda in that, 8-month time jump, we kind of get little flashbacks. Yeah, you get it. Also, you can never be mad at T'Challa. But with them out of the way, Doctor Strange now knows that there's nobody who's gonna, on this plane, be able to stand to him. So he steps up to the Beyonders, summons them, and in this epic 1.4 second fight, Doctor Strange, empowered by all of the cosmic space magic in our reality, becomes atoms, just vaporized immediately. And it was all a distraction because Doctor Doom had a plan the entire time. And his plan was, instead of attacking the Beyonders, which is a terrible idea, what if I could steal all their power? So he did it. He managed, with the work of Owen Reese, the Molecule Man, to design a device that can make sure that the Beyonders' power can kind of be funneled into him when the multiverse ending bomb that is Molecule Man goes off. This play is a big risk. Some people kind of knew it was happening. So Reed had one little, I can't really trust Victor. I don't think he's here to stop the Beyonders. Or if he doesn't, we have to have a plan. Reed created something called the Life Raft. Now, you kind of see this in the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts and in the Fantastic Four movie that just came out. You can kind of get the feeling that, like, okay, Reed likes spaceships. He does. He created this interdimensional ship that can exist almost like a generation ship from other, like, sci-fi media, where anybody who can fit in this spaceship will survive the destruction of this universe into the next one, knowing this is possible from, like, conversations he had with Galactus and, his son being truly a god. All of this comes to an end with the end of everything. The entire series, people were wondering, well, how are we going to solve this problem? Who's going to win this fight? How are we going to not destroy? And keep in mind, there are other universes. They kind of made it so that the other universes were ones we understood, like the Ultimates universe, which was a pretty popular comic run at the time. Like, the 15th century, everyone's got a British accent universe. All of the little side stories Marvel been publishing are different universes, so you kind of see a little bit of them here and there. It makes you feel like this is a lived-in multiverse. And we don't know who's going to win and how it's going to come on top. What we definitely didn't expect was the final 2 Earths left. Real reminiscent of Infinite Crisis from DC was Earth 616 and the Ultimates universe. The sky is ripped up. These 2 universes are about to collide. The Ultimates universe, which has been running its entire own strategy, a little bit less covered than the Times runs out because they're running their own kind of plan, by their version of Reed, the greatest version of Reed Richards, the Maker, supervillain, launches a full-scale preemptive attack against them. He knew this was coming. He knew it was possible. He's like, let's go in, everybody. The entire Ultimates universe agrees. Let's just attack 616 and may the strongest survive. We are in full Armageddon at this point. Both our Earth and theirs exploding all over the place. Massive brawl. Punisher is shooting aliens. This is the panel. The last book. Read it if you can. Heroes are dying. Everyone is just trying to buy a little bit more time while Reed is getting as many people onto the Life Raft as possible. It's not about being a hero. It's not about saving anything at this point. It's about survival. The moment that gets me is that the ending for Captain America and Iron Man is so perfectly written. After 8 months of being just bitter enemies, of betrayal and messing with each other, old man Steve and Tony find themselves kind of slumped back to back as shield helicarriers plummet to kill them. They have forgotten everything they didn't like about each other. They have given up on fighting. They just look at each other and realize, man, we were both so childish. Boom, dead. Everyone is dead. The life raft teleports out of reality, and the multiverse, in one panel, ceases to be. It's gone. And that's how the story ends. Nothing. Blank white page. Someone turned off the electric bill of reality. It's over. They lost. Everything is gone. And that's the story of Time Runs Out. It's a lead-in to Secret Wars, which we at this point kind of figured out because they invoked the name of Beyonders, Doom was involved, but that's an entirely different story. This event was just a gut punch of, if you tell a story right, the heroes don't have to win, you just remind you why you care about heroes in the first place. And they nailed it. It was a bold challenge, and the challenge after it is, well, how do we tell the story after we destroy everything? And that's, Jonathan Hickman's 2015 Secret Wars run. So I love this event. I love how Doom focused it is. What about you? Have you read it before? Are you interested in reading it now? Do you like stories where everybody can't win, the Kobayashi Maru of these type of fights? And if so, let me know in the comments below. Have a good night and take it easy.